So there's been a long-standing debate in the keyboard world over what is the best keyboard layout. 65%? 75%? Full size? Well, today I'm bringing it right down with Epomaker's TH40, a 40% keyboard, and it is small. Before we begin, I want to let you know that this video was sponsored by Epomaker, who provided the TH40 free of charge for the purpose of this review. However, rest assured, all opinions you hear today are completely my own and unbiased. Kicking things off, let's have a look at the unboxing experience. The box is one of those rigid ones where the top part lifts off from the bottom, and Epomaker, if you're watching, I'd love to see you package more of your keyboards like this. Inside, the user manual is front and center with the TH40 itself wrapped in a plastic sleeve. You also get an accessory box that contains a braided USB-A to USB-C cable, a dual keycap and switch puller, a few spare switches, and the 2.4 GHz wireless receiver. Overall, the unboxing experience felt like a step up from Epomaker with a more sophisticated packaging. However, one minor nitpick I have is that the 2.4 GHz wireless receiver has no internal slot. I personally find these things way too easy to lose or just get mixed up with other receivers, so that would have been nice. Okay, I'm going to quickly go over some of the main specs and features before I get into my own thoughts and opinions. The TH40 comes in at $79.99 on Epomaker.com. It has an ultra compact 40% layout with just 44 keys. It features tri-mode connectivity, meaning you can connect via Bluetooth, 2.4 GHz wireless, or wired USB-C. It's also got a 3000 mAh battery. With the main specs and features out of the way, let's start with a surface look at this keyboard. So yeah, needless to say, the TH40 is an absolutely tiny keyboard rocking this 40% ANSI layout. The unit I've got comes in this black and yellow color scheme. As a whole, I can't help but just look at this thing. I think it really looks nice actually. It features split spacebars in both the 2.25 and 2.75 U size, which I believe caters to ergonomics. One of the more obvious design choices is this side strap, which I can't help but think was inspired by Wooting's famous Take Control strap in their 60HE. It is however removable if it's not your forte. As you can imagine, being made from an ABS plastic and being the size it is, you're getting a super lightweight keyboard. Although notably light, it shouldn't be mistaken for feeling cheap, as the overall build and package feels sturdy and well built. It's gasket mounted, giving the board a bit of cushion. It's not the bounciest gasket performance I've ever seen, but not the firmest either, somewhere in the middle. Underneath, the TH40 has a rubber case pad in each corner paired with a set of single tier height adjustable feet. Besides this, you're just getting a small branding sticker. Moving over to the back edge, you'll find your connectivity options, including a connection mode switch that allows you to toggle between 2.4 GHz wireless, wired USB-C or Bluetooth, followed by the USB-C port. Otherwise, the edges are kept nice and clean. Again, just to point out, there's no wireless dongle slot in the case, so make sure you don't misplace it. Back up on the surface, as space is limited, the layout is full non-exploded without much of notability. You do however get a series of indicator LEDs in the top right, and they're well implemented with nice bright LEDs. Let's talk about the keycaps. They're dice sub PBT in the cherry profile with thin center-lined legends. They're not double shot, but the legends still appear to be nice and crisp. Heading down a layer deeper, the TH40 ships with Epomaker's own flamingo switches. These are a prelude 5-pin linear that require an operating force of about 47 grams, making them a mid to light option. Overall, the board sounds pretty nice, though maybe a small bit muted. I personally did like it, and unless you're a seasoned enthusiast that knows exactly what sound they like, I think you'll like it too. I'm going to refrain from prescribing this board with a particular keyword sound profile because you guys usually tell me I'm wrong anyway. The stabilizers in my unit were also up to scratch with no annoying pingy noises. In terms of software compatibility, the TH40 does actually come with full QMK and VIA support, and in a keyboard of this size, I actually find that to be of great importance. Briefly, these are open source customization tools that offer extensive customizability without needing to install any software on your computer. So I was surprised to discover the TH40 Pro ships with a 3000 mAh battery, and whilst this isn't inherently big, I wasn't expecting one of this capacity in a keyboard of this size, so you really can't complain. The battery can be used to fuel the RGB lighting, with several preset modes you can cycle between. If you plan on using this keyboard for gaming, it features a 1000 Hz polling rate or a 1 millisecond response time in wired modes, as well as full N key rollover, so it's well capable. Okay, I'm going to perform a quick teardown to showcase the internal structure of the keyboard. So it feels like we're throwing it back in time with the case feature in this clip design. There's both the battery and daughterboard connector to disconnect before progressing further. To free up the internal sandwich, you'll need to remove 4 screws on the back of the PCB. So you're getting a non-flex cut polycarbonate plate with plate mounted stabilizers and double-sided gaskets. You're getting all the usual foams and films, as well as this thick layer of PCB foam on the back. The PCB is non-flex cut 5-pin hot swappable with south-facing RGB LEDs. Okay, as always, I'm going to play the sound test before I leave you with my closing remarks and recommendations. Okay, so overall, the TH40 Pro is a super compact keyboard that, although takes a bit of time to get accustomed to, provides a nice, comfortable typing experience with little finger travel needed. It's obviously very light, so it makes for a great portable travel keyboard once you're happy with all your key mappings. It's got tri-mode connectivity and a respectable battery life, furthermore qualifying it for travel purposes. I do, however, have to say that I think the price is a tiny bit steep for what you're getting. I see the TH40 as more of a novelty, unique board for the enthusiasts to add to their collections, but at $80, I'm not sure I'd recommend it in terms of value for money, though definitely a really cool little keyboard if you're not particularly concerned about the price. That concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider dropping a like and subscribing because your support is greatly appreciated and it's free. Another huge thanks to the people over at Epomaker for making this video possible.